Hello there guys, it's Mercia and welcome back to another video review today. But I don't want to do anything crazy here. I just want to answer a question. I have this question asked by my friend a few days ago, and he asked me, is it worth it to spend a lot on True Wireless's earbuds, or is it good if I just go for the budget end? Because he's looking for a new one and asking me for a suggestion. So I didn't want to answer that question because I didn't know myself. And today we're just here to test this out, I guess. Is it worth it to spend less money and go for something like the Aukey EP-T25? Here it's not focusing. The Aukey EP-T25, or should I spend at least around 10 times more and go for the Sony WF-1000Xm3s? Now this is two different league of earbuds here. We're talking about somewhere between $25 and somewhere between $250, but I got this personally for about $210, I think. So still pretty close to the retail price, but still what I would say is pretty expensive. And this is what I think most people will spend their money on because it's, well, quote unquote cheaper and has, well, what I would say is consumer grade features. So now let's talk about the things that I want to tackle on today. So we're going to talk about features, battery life, connectivity, and sound quality. I don't want to talk about design because they are a bit subjective. So what was the first one again? Features, I think. So let's talk about features straight away. Sony has way much more. On the most basic level of quote-unquote feature, the feature that the Aukey bring that the Sony clearly isn't providing here is size. Compact is Aukey's first target. That's what they labeled so boldly in the box. We want to hit compact. It's literally built for compact. That's their feature. Next feature was what I would call as a auto magical pairing, where you just open the lid and it will automatically pair to your phone. So that's one. And the third feature, this is a feature for $25, USB Type-C and LED battery indicator. Aside from that, I would say it's a pretty normal earbuds. Maybe if you want to like make it an AirPod looks alike as a feature, then sure, but I think that's where it ends because it doesn't really have anything for it. Okay, I'm just going to interrupt. Before I forgot, the Aukey EP-T25 here has IP rating. Yes, $25. It has IPX5 rating, so you can bring this to gym, run around with it. You don't have to worry about this hitting water. On the other side, the WF-1000Xm3s has a lot more feature to it. First of all, we have Samsung's Sony app. Having an app itself is a good feature. And then we have more such as DSE-HX, which is Sony's amplifier for music source and all. So it takes like low quality music and boosts it to a better quality ones. There's ANC, transparency, and there is ambient mode control. There is touch, like you hold one side for a boost of quality. Amplified sound. There is longer battery here, 8 plus 24 instead of 25 hours. It's longer here, but individually I think it's only 4.5 instead of 8, and 6 with ANC on. Again, I would say this, but Type-C, it's not a feature for this price. It better have Type-C. But aside from that, the other feature that I would say would probably be the better sound quality. That is the feature. Now, after that, we're gonna talk about connectivity. Both of them uses Bluetooth 5.0, but I'm gonna be honest here. I have a little bit of connectivity issues on Sony. I have more connectivity issues on the Aukey. And what I mean by that is, sometimes when I'm using the Sony, this happens like 5%, maybe less than 5% of the time. So when I'm listening music or watching a YouTube video, they will randomly disconnect with the phone. It's not disconnecting, they will just randomly not play any music until I'll have to either tap on the right earbuds or take them out and put it back on. But aside from that, they are pretty good. I can literally go up with my phone upstairs, go downstairs, and it will still be fine for me. The Aukey, however, has those issues where it actually disconnects with your phone, and it won't pair with your phone for a while. I don't know, it's weird. It only happens to me twice. So these are both like very minor issue, but aside from that, connectivity is pretty fine. We will talk about build quality. When you spend more, it feels better in so many ways. Build quality is better for me. I love this copper accents. It just feels expensive. It's a bit heavier, but it feels premium. Aukey, like, I get this is a feature. Lightweight is one of their targets, but it feels cheaper. The plastic doesn't feel as nice, but with what they're trying to aim and the other feature like IPX5, I can give this a pass. So to the hardest part of this entire video is sound quality. Again, I don't want to go through things like what does one tap do, what does two tap do, what does holding do. Those are for the full video. If you want to know more about those, go check out my full video. I'll put link down in the description below. But the sound quality is where the price difference really shows, by the way. $25 earbuds versus $250 can means a lot. Like, some expensive earbuds doesn't even have that good sound quality. I'm talking about things like, I don't have the original one, the quote-unquote AirPods. You know, this puppy, I've tried the real ones, I return it. I will not spend money on those things. Sounds horrible, but they cost $170. And no offense, where is it? Okay, no offense, but things like the AirPods Pro, again, I don't have the real one anymore, they don't sound bad, but I think for the price they can get better. And yeah, it's a surprise. Like, I would say that the Aukey EP-T25 for me, for me personally, is bass heavy. It's, the vocal is fine, I can hear the instrument separation is not the best, but it's noticeable. But these are for bass heads. If you want those bass to like muddy up everything else, not that bad though, but you get my point. They are just bass heavy. They really focus on that kind of like boombox experience in your ear. So overall, it's pretty positive. I think if you like EDM, you like most pop songs, this could be fun. This should be fun. But if you like things like slow jazz or things that doesn't emphasize, oh my god, that doesn't emphasize too much on the low ends, I think you might struggle, because without any low end, I've listened to a song that purely doesn't have bass, and everything else isn't surprising. It's kind of meh. Like, the bass makes it fun. Meanwhile, the Sony, if you don't put the DSE-HX mode on, I would say on the normal equalizer setting, it's balanced. It's actually pretty balanced. The bass is there, but everything else is pretty, I would say it's kind of consistently flat. But once you turn on the equalizer to excited, which is what I do, bass is amplified. The high is kind of good too. It sounds really good. Vocal sounds amazing, and instrument sounds even better. Instrument separation is on another level. But again, this is personal preference. Someone might say the excited sounds bad for them. I get it, but for me personally, the excited sound profile makes this a very good sounding earbuds. Like, if you ask me, is this worth it, $250 for the sound alone, I would straight up say yes, because it really is that good. And like, putting this side by side isn't even a fair fight excuse me, because again, they are not even at the same price point. And I guess another thing I can say is multi-pairing connection, so that you can pair to two different devices, is also a pretty huge huge point for this, because I own an iPhone and I use an Android at the same time, so just being able to change them side by side is pretty good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's a pretty different video, but I just want to say, like, just want to prove a point if it's worth it to buy like on a two different price point. But when you go to this budget end of earbuds, like I'm talking about $25, there is just way, excuse me, I'm just gonna have a trouble of holding, way much more different earbuds for the price point. I have more, but these are like the four that I keep on my drawer for quick comparison. But yeah, like the problem with expensive earbuds is they need to get everything perfect so that it doesn't, you can like expose yourself to bigger audience. That's why something like the AirPods Pro, which doesn't have that good of a sound quality, is so high on everybody's list. I mean, it's decent for the price. I think the sound is, and you will be happy with this, but you know, for me, it's not that good, which is why I bought the WF-1000Xm3s. Again, I will review more non-knockoff products because this type of earbuds here is really interesting to look at. But yeah, for me, if you ask me, if you have the money to spend, if you have the money to buy expensive earbuds, sure, I think you're better off buying a straight up more expensive earbuds from the get-go for a longer term use, more feature, and it's overall just a much more polished experience. But budget earbuds cannot be looked down to. It's really good that you can get such a decent package for $25 to begin with. It's actually insane. So yeah, hope this helped you guys. You guys can take this as like a pretty indirect comparison between Aukey and the WF-1000 instead of trying to prove a point. But I personally think if you have the money to, just go for a much more expensive earbuds from the get-go. But if you don't have money, just look around. There's so much more good, cheaper earbuds that focus on different features, and Aukey just being lightweight is one of them. And honestly, I think even if this doesn't have a good sound quality, with all the feature and how polished it feels for $25, I think anyone would be happy. Like, if you guys can be happy with the AirPods, this is way better. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this video is somewhat helpful, and it's a bit different, but you know, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.